Now on Denver 7, communities on edge as multiple fires are burning across Colorado this holiday weekend.
We had 10 minutes at most to get out.
While some are forced to flee their homes, others are coming back only to find how close they came to losing everything.
We were tossing a mental coin on we've lost the house and everything else, and maybe it will go around us.
Plus, a Colorado Easter tradition makes its triumphant return, with Red Rocks holding its famous sunrise service.
It was really wonderful to see everybody together and just kind of enjoying a service on Easter morning. It was a great time.
Good evening and welcome to Denver 7 News at 5. I'm Bayan Wang.
And I'm Jacqueline Allen. Thanks for joining us and happy Easter.
Happy Easter. We begin tonight with the Duck Pond fire burning out west near Gypsum. Hundreds of homes have been evacuated, and right now the winds are a very big worry.
That's right, and that's where Denver 7's Ivan Rodriguez is live. Ivan, the good news, crews are making some progress.
We're just hearing, just a couple minutes ago, new containment numbers on this fire. A very successful day for firefighters. 88 acres burned, and latest numbers 60% contained. That's a big difference from what we saw and heard earlier this afternoon, from about 20%, now 60% contained. No structures have been lost. From where we're standing right on Frontage Road and between I-70 and Frontage Road, you can't really see any fire activity. Fire officials tell me it's really been a lot more contained throughout the day that they've been able to work on it. Again, no structures have been lost. 350 people, from what I'm still being told, remain evacuated, with other areas on pre-evacuation notices. Not sure when those may be able to drop down. We might expect that later on this evening if those containment numbers continue to head in this direction that we're seeing now. Because of those high winds in the area, no aviation has been used to fight the fire, and it's those same high winds that remain the concern throughout the day. Officials believe evacuations will continue, like I said, throughout at least this evening. And I was listening in on what Eagle County PIO had to say just a couple minutes ago. What I was able to hear is that this fire was human caused. The investigation is ongoing to determine exactly how it was caused, but that's a key factor here, that was human caused. We're going to continue to stay on this and bring you the latest, especially when it comes to those evacuation notices and pre-evacuation notices as well. For now, live here in Gypsum, Ivan Rodriguez, Denver 7.
Very interesting, Ivan. We know that it started there in that open space, so it'll be interesting to see how they know that it was human caused and what exactly started it. But good thing that I-70 is back open again on this holiday weekend. All right, up north, the 37E fire in Larimer County is now 100% contained. That's some great news this Easter Sunday. Everyone has been allowed to go back home.
That is good news, but some are coming back home and finding out that they just barely avoided disaster. Here's Denver 7's Patrick Perez.
You can see just how close the fire got to some homes here. The fire was just feet away from the entrance of this house. Homeowners I spoke with told me they had just minutes to grab their belongings.
Strong winds Sunday afternoon lifting ash from the burn scar of the 37E fire in Larimer County.
I will say that probably we had 10 minutes at most to get out.
Johanna Zay and her partner Dave were forced to evacuate their home in the Blue Mountain area Friday afternoon after a fire sparked and spread quickly.
I grabbed the phone, looked out the other living room windows, and saw the flames racing down the gully. Threw the cat in the carrier and mandatory evacuation, and we were out of here.
All evacuations were lifted by noon Sunday, and a closer look shows a fire was within reach of homes like Johanna's.
We were tossing a mental coin on we've lost the house and everything else, and maybe it will go around us.
No structures were lost, according to the sheriff's office, likely because of the direction the wind blew and the hard work by multiple firefighters.
You feel lucky?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very lucky and very safe.
Despite their close call, Johanna has no plans to move.
We wanted to get out of the city. We accepted the risks. You try and mitigate them with fire mitigation, brushwork, surveys.
It'll take more than a fire to keep them away from this. In Larimer County, Patrick Perez, Denver 7.
So glad that their home made it out safe. And it was the perfect weather today for Easter egg hunting. Plenty of families out at Clement Park in Littleton, where it seems the Easter Bunny left plenty of eggs for the kids to find.
They look like they're having so much fun. Meteorologist Stacey Donaldson joins us now. Stacey, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to get outside, but that's okay. It's going to get even warmer as the week goes on.
That's right, and it was pretty warm today. Highs in the upper 60s for our afternoon highs. We had some 70s down into southeastern Colorado. We had 68 here in Denver, but the winds have been pretty strong for the day today. High fire danger here across the eastern half of our state. 37-mile-an-hour gusts right now in Denver, 56 for Sterling, and 39 in Greeley. A little closer look shows you how gusty these winds are across the Front Range, up into the foothills, and for northeastern Colorado as well. So we have red flag warnings in effect for most of the eastern half of the state, even down in the southwestern part as well. Going into the rest of tonight, high fire danger here for the metro and up into northeastern Colorado. And as we go through the night, we'll see some scattered rain showers here for the plains. A few snow showers possible off to the west. We're seeing a few returns here and there, but otherwise it looks like it'll be pretty light as a system is moving through. Otherwise tonight in Denver, we'll have temperatures mostly in the 60s through 7 o'clock. Then we'll drop into the 50s, 40s as we head through the overnight. Still a little bit breezy, but we'll be talking about this huge warm up coming on the 7-day forecast in a few minutes.
All right. Thank you, Stacy.
This Easter Sunday, a Colorado tradition is finally back in person.
I love this tradition. Red Rocks allowed people to attend its famous sunrise service for the first time since the pandemic. Denver 7's Christian Lopez was there for the celebration.
This is the Easter Sunrise Service's 75th year, but of course this time it has special significance because people haven't been able to gather in person over the last 2 years. And early this morning, hundreds of people came out to celebrate together and enjoy this breathtaking view.
It was really wonderful to see everybody together and just kind of enjoying a service on Easter morning. It was a great time.
Coloradans coming together to worship, sing, and enjoy all that the sunrise service has to offer. Many were thankful the Colorado Council of Churches was able to hold the event in person once again.
We were all singing along to Amazing Grace, and then towards the very end of the song, they released the doves. So it was pretty cool to see them all fly together, one way and go another.
For the Sanchez family, it was their first time attending the service at Red Rocks, and it marked the start of a new tradition.
It's nice to gather in public places, and yeah, it's just coming together as a family.
Just really cool. I liked the church service. It was really good. I liked the songs too.
It was cool. I liked it.
It was just beautiful seeing everybody out here just coming together to worship.
Happy Resurrection Day!
Happy Easter! Happy Easter! And all of the people that we talked to who were attending the event for the first time today say they will definitely be back because it was such an amazing experience. I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
Lots of fun. All right, thanks, Christian. Pope Francis said the world is making a, quote, Easter of war and called for peace in Ukraine while delivering his Easter blessing today. Thousands of people showed up for Easter Mass at the Vatican. This is the first in-person Easter Mass held there since the start of the pandemic.
In Ukraine, Easter Sunday was marked by more shelling attacks, and Russia claiming it now controls the city of Mariupol. Ukrainian officials dispute that claim, saying Russian soldiers have only taken over a steel plant. This comes as the U.S. has promised to provide $800 million in new military aid to Ukraine. The Kremlin responded by issuing a warning to the U.S. to stop sending arms to the country.
We are so grateful to American people, especially to President Biden, for support of Ukraine, to all of our international partners who support us ammunition, humanitarian, technical support for our country.
And at least one world leader is facing consequences for supporting Ukraine. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson is now permanently banned from visiting Russia, just 1 week after walking the streets of Kyiv with Ukraine's president.
All right, here in the U.S., we saw multiple mass shootings during the holiday weekend. More than a dozen people were injured at a South Carolina mall, and several people were killed at a party in Pittsburgh. ABC's Mona Kosar Abdi has the latest.
Officials in Pittsburgh are investigating a mass shooting that left 2 juveniles dead and 8 other people wounded by gunfire. Another 5 people suffered injuries, jumping out of windows, falling down stairs. Others hurt as they took cover. According to police, around 200 people, many underage, were gathered at an Airbnb when shots rang out. As many as 50 rounds fired inside, with another 50 outside the house.
This goes back to having too many guns, too many illegal guns on the streets, too many people who have access to these illegal weapons.
This incident comes just hours after another mass shooting Saturday afternoon at a shopping mall in Columbia, South Carolina.
I heard like 20 to 30 shots inside the mall. Multiple shots fired inside the mall coming from the gas area.
9 people shot in that incident, 5 others injured as the chaos unfolded. Fortunately, no fatalities.
We believe that the individuals that were armed knew each other
and there was some type of conflict that occurred.
In New York City this past Tuesday, the morning commute turned violent when a gunman opened fire on a crowded subway train. 29 people injured, 10 of them treated for gunshot wounds.
There are many rivers that feed the sea of violence. This is a national issue. It's not a red state, blue state, and we have to be preventive. Many of these generational social problems have become the pipeline to violence.
This past Monday, the president announcing his administration's efforts to fight gun crime.
Our communities are paying the price.
A core part of his plan, stopping the proliferation of so-called ghost guns, whose parts can be easily purchased online, virtually untraceable because they have no serial numbers. Mona Kosarabdi, ABC News, New York.
Here in Colorado, the Teller County Sheriff's Office had to call in its SWAT team to evacuate a Florissant neighborhood. Just after midnight, deputies responded to this neighborhood off Highway 24, where they found a man shooting out of his house at his neighbors' homes. The SWAT team used a tactical vehicle to evacuate 11 people living in nearby houses. Deputies eventually did get inside the shooter's home, and they say they found him dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. They noticed several firing stations set up pointing directly at his neighbors' homes. And investigators say they do not have a motive right now.
Starting tomorrow night, a small stretch of I-25 will completely shut down in northern Colorado so CDOT crews can install new overhead signs. The interstate will close in both directions between Highway 392 and Harmony Road, which is just north of Loveland. The closures will last from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. from tomorrow until Friday.
Also tomorrow, Denver's first social equity marijuana dispensary is holding its grand opening. Social Cannabis will open its doors at 11 a.m. It's located off Federal and 51st, and this is the first dispensary to open that's part of Denver's social equity program. This program aims to make it easier for people to enter the industry who were negatively affected by the war on drugs.
All right, it was a tough start to the postseason for the Nuggets last night. They unfortunately lost to the Warriors 123-107. Luckily, the team has plenty of time to turn things around this series. The next game is tomorrow night and will be in San Francisco again. We'll have much more on the Nuggets coming up later in sports.
And this coming Thursday, we want to tell you Denver 7's running a special to honor legendary Broncos safety Steve Atwater. Atwater was inducted into the Hall of Fame just this past July following a 10-year career here in Denver that included 2 Super Bowl championships and 8 Pro Bowl selections. Listen to Atwater explain his reaction to being known as the Smiling Assassin, an intimidating force on the field and a very humble person off it.
I thought it was I still think it's kind of corny, but I think it's kind of cool too, because that's kind of how my personality is. I'm a happy guy, and I used to try and be really physical.
Steve Atwater, Road to Canton airs this Thursday at 8 right here on Denver 7, and he is just a good guy.
Yeah, be sure to tune in. All right, the U.S. will allow drilling on federal lands again starting tomorrow, breaking a key campaign promise from President Biden. Why the White House says the move couldn't be stopped.
Plus, Colorado's ski season is coming to a close. Which resorts are shutting down this weekend and which are still open for some spring skiing? Next.